Hello everyone, Tech here, and we're back with another discussion video. And today we're going to be talking about Stargrail's, Chalice, a new archetype that came in Code of the Duelist that is potentially the most powerful, Link deck for right now. Until we get more broken Link monsters and circuit breakers, this is more than not likely to be the most broken Link deck until then. So now I want to talk about my opinions of World Chalice. First things first, the TCG name of this deck is stupid. I hate the name, that's why I'm not buying the deck. And don't expect any deck profiles from me from this deck, because I want Konami to keep their name Stargrail. Stargrail was a much better name for me when it comes to this deck. It was much more cool, much more innovative, much more interesting than World Chalice. We already have a card with Chalice in its fucking name, Konami. Thus, I'm flat out just not buying the deck. That's it. Sorry, World Chalice, you're done. Now we got that out of the way, that I'm not going to be playing the deck, profiling the deck, or buying the deck for any way, shape, or form of use for me. We're gonna get into the strengths of the deck. As I said before, this deck is the strongest Link Summon archetype out there. Thus, in my opinion, it's the only Link deck that can Link Summon enough where it can extra Link your opponent. If you guys don't know what that is, you can look it up, and I'll give you a brief description of it. Basically, your opponent can use your extra monster zone in order to Link Summon, and you basically can really summon shit from the extra deck, unless if any of their Link monsters have any arrows pointing to your zones. Or if you get rid of their Link monster first. Aside from that, nothing's happening there. And if you have to do any form of extra deck summoning, you might as well just scoop that game out, because you basically lost. You're done. You're done. You're taking an L for that game if you can't get rid of any of their monsters and you have to summon from the extra deck in order to function. Now I'm going to be talking about the weaknesses of the deck. And there's actually more weaknesses than what the people are willing to credit the deck for. Actually, there's one more strength. It's actually quite fairly budget to build right now. For now, it's quite budget to build. I mean, to be honest, the most expensive things that you're going to need for the deck are 3 copies of Brilliant Fusion and the 1 copy of Daigusto Emerald. Or 2 copies of Daigusto Emerald, if you prefer. Those are the most expensive things that you're going to have to play in the deck, and most likely, some of y'all already have Daigusto Emeralds or Brilliant Fusions and cards and Agent Venuses and Shine Balls and things like that. So, now we're going to get into... Now let me continue with the weaknesses of the deck. And there are a lot more weaknesses than what people are willing to credit this deck for. Yesterday, I was at my locals, and for almost an hour, because I actually got there early this time. I got there around 1:55. Yeah, actually a little bit over now. The tournament started at 3:30 this time. And we were getting the sneak peek packs, and this guy actually purchased a whole bunch of sneak peek packs so he can get to the Stargrail stuff. And he managed to build the entire Stargrail deck the way he wanted it built. So it was at full power. So then me and him dueled for quite a while. Oh, you see. We dueled for a long time. And I was using various stun decks to see, and it was just for fun, so I was using various stun decks that I normally wouldn't play in this format to see what type of effect that they have against this deck. First, I played my Herald Stun. Herald is a deck that automatically destroys whatever it goes against, no matter what. So, Herald is like one of the best decks in all of Yu-Gi-Oh history. So, yeah, there's no shocker there. He got wrecked by Herald. There's no shocker there. No real debate that the deck could make in response to Herald. Herald just kills everything. The closest thing that he got to being my Herald of Perfection is being able to attack over one of them successfully. And that's because I put them in defense even though I had Honest in my hand. I actually have 2 Heralds on the field against him, but that's a story for another time. And for another video. But what really got me terrified is how easily the deck lost when I started whipping up my Cosmo artifacts. And I didn't really do too many games with Cosmo Artifact though, because I kind of got bored with the deck after a little while, so I'm like, don't really want to play Cosmo Artifact anymore. Let me switch up to Barrier Statue, one of my favorite stun decks to play against extra deck heavy decks. And the results are quite disastrous for Stargrail. Stargrail in the offhand basically suffer for the hands of any Barrier Statue. Even though they're all different attributes, I saw that they were all different attributes, so I wanted to see how Barrier Statue would do against the deck. Of course, he agreed because he's playing the deck competitively and he needs to be prepared for all things. Sorry guys, minor inconvenience there. Family life. But anyways, the results were quite disastrous on Stargrail's part. Like, Stargrails couldn't beat Barrier Statues a single fucking time. Keep in mind, I actually had a lot of deck cards in the deck. Like, for example, my Body as a Shield is dead against that deck. My Body as a Shield does nothing against the deck. Unless it is... I resolved it once when he played Mirror Force on me. The original Mirror Force, in case if you guys were wondering. But yeah, my Body as a Shield is dead against the deck. He won second. I won second more than I won first. I say we played like 30 games before the tournament started, and I won first like 8 times, and I beat the deck every single time. Thus, Stargrail is at risk of getting stunned very easily by a Barrier Statue. And even though they have different attributes, you still have your back row to protect them. And here's the problem. That deck can't afford to Tekken cards like Zephion the Time Lord because they need their normal summon. That deck is a linear combo reliant deck. If you don't combo off with the deck properly, you're going to end on a very weak turn 1 board and your opponent's just going to trash you. It's an all or nothing deck. It's very vulnerable to Vanity's Emptiness like cards. That would include Monarchs. That would include Barrier Statues. That would include Herald of Perfection. That would include basically anything that stops special summoning. Vanity's Fiend. And to a certain extent, yes, even Majesty's Fiend is very effective against the deck. Artifact Scythe. Like, all these cards would be great options to go against World Chalice with. And it's like I said, I beat the guy every single time. And I lost the tournament that day because I got smarted by this True Draco player. He ended up teching in some really spicy stuff. I have respect for him. I'm not going to expose what those tech cards were, but yeah, he put in some spicy stuff, and that's what prevented me from making top 4. If I wouldn't have lost to him, I would have made it the top 4 because I won my last 2 duels. So yeah, it's just like really. But anyways, I don't think you guys care about my tournament record, right? Who the fuck gives a fuck about my tournament record? But anyways, but yeah, the results were very scary for World Chalice. Because it's like the deck couldn't handle not being able to special summon outside of one attribute at all. And I was actually using wind statues against them. Their main way of clearing monsters is with their wind World Chalice monster. I wasn't even using the better barrier statues, like the fire, the earth statue is great against them. The dark statue is fucking bonkers against them. I might have to order some more dark statues this month, because I can see that one becoming one of my favorite ones to run at a certain point. It's just bonkers what happened to the deck. He managed to complete the whole entire Pure Star Grail deck, and without any restrictions in the deck. And he was able to get all of the cards that are supposed to be played in Star Grail. It's not like that he was just drawing a random deck together to play in the tournament with. Even though he didn't use Star Grails today, because he got a little salty after going through 30 rounds of Barrier Statue and 10 rounds of Herald and Cosmo artifacts. I really wanted to emphasize on the fact that Barrier Statue basically put the deck down in the dirt, because this deck can't really afford to run many tech cards outside of things like Twin Twisters. It can't. Aside from that, it can't do anything else, man. Like, the guy was using Mirror Forces against me, and he completely forgot about how I had my body as a shield and Dark Bribes in the deck. Therefore, Mirror Force will never be able to go off. Although in this format, I don't think my body as a shield is that great anymore. At least for now. But yeah, it's just scary how easily a new deck like this gets put down by something that's $100 or less to construct. Like, that really does put fear in me. And those of you who say, oh, barrier statues have to run demise. No, they don't. I played it against the deck, and I only resolved with my barrier statues, and I only resolved demise 5 out of 30 times. So 25 times, I still won without pulling off demise. That's right, people. 5 out of 30 times, I used demise on them. And I mean, I'm lucky with card demise, but when I don't see it, I don't see it. So, yeah, guys, this is a video that I really wanted to do after getting a good night's rest, exploiting the weaknesses of this deck. It's just too vulnerable to anything that restricts their form of summoning. And as a matter of fact, you don't even have to play barrier statues against them. You just have to put a summon limit on the field against this fucking deck. And they're done. They're done. They can't do anything. If they can't special summon at least 5 to 10 times in one turn, they're done. They are legitimately screwed. This is my weakness and strength discussion of World Chalice video. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Team World Tech, signing out. Peace.